the war against Gaigas. Who is ready for another game where the Earth gets invaded by aliens? And it is kids who have the ability to use psychic powers are actually the way to solve it. Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to my newest project. Welcome to EarthBound, a game by Shigesato Itoi from 1994, releasing on the SNES. Welcome to the second installment of the Mother series, and the first one that actually officially got released in the West. For the longest time, even the only Mother game to ever release in the West. Like I explained in my first project of Mother 1, EarthBound Beginnings, that game was not released in the West because of this game already being in development, and Shigesato Itoi deciding to actually focus on this game for localization. And as you may know, Mother 3 never released in the West, not even later on, like Mother 1 did do at some point. But here we have EarthBound, Mother 2, the first JRPG game that I actually ever played. A game I must admit I kind of have a love-hate relationship with, because when I was younger I did not like this game all that much, in all honesty. It was a little bit too much for me to handle as a kid. Most of all because my English was not really that great yet, and yeah, you can imagine a game like this kind of gave me trouble, but later on I actually rediscovered this game. Luckily I never sold it, it was still lying around. And later on I played it again, and nowadays I can appreciate it a little bit more. Even though I still feel this is not the kind of game for everyone. There's a lot of complicated business in here. Most of all because of the very, very big Japanese cultural references that are in here. So I can imagine translating this game must have been hell. There's a lot of things that are very Japanese in this game, I must admit. The storytelling is very vague. And the game is also filled with references and jokes that are based on Japanese culture. So if you don't have the best appreciation for Japanese culture, this game could get a little bit tricky for you. Not just to play it, but also actually to follow along what is going on in this game. But playing it is definitely not a problem, because the gameplay, the returning RPG elements in this game are the same as in the first game, making it amazing to play. Returning from the first EarthBound game, EarthBound Beginnings, the same turn-based fighting system that makes the formula for the Mother series so amazing is once again present here. And the gameplay is definitely the biggest strength of this game. Even though story-wise and when it comes to the characters and the general dialogue in this game might become a little bit complicated at some point, even though it is still a pretty good story, but the way it is told can be a little bit fake. It's definitely done in a very Japanese sense. So in that sense I can actually imagine why they never released Mother 3 in the West. In that game it's even worse. But here they did a very good job. If I need to say something positive about the story in this game, they really did well trying to translate it to Western standards. So compliments for the localization here. But when it comes to the strength of this game, it is definitely the RPG elements, the battle system that is in here, returning from the first game. That is going to be the thing that carries this game the most. It is still an amazing game. Very similar to the first game, it plays out in a very similar way. So if you've been following along the first EarthBound game, EarthBound Beginnings, even though it released a lot later here in the West, but it is still the first game. If you're familiar with that, you know what to expect here. Just realize this game is a whole lot longer. It is made later for a later system, so don't expect a 20-part project here. I cannot imagine I'm able to keep it under that. But anyway, enough introduction to this culturally genius game. It is time to actually start playing it. That all said, let's go meet the new gang. Because this is a new story. This is not a continuation of EarthBound Beginnings. We have a new story to go over. We're going to put the text speed in this game on fast. I'll explain during the battle system why it has to be on fast. Which style of windows do you prefer? Well, I always like things standard, so let's just go for the plain flavor. Okay, and here's the new gang. We are going to name this guy after me. He's officially called Ness, by the way, which is spelled N-E-S-S. Word pun on the S-N-E-S, with the first S actually being moved to the back. But I'm going to call him Treecks, obviously. Even though I can't spell Treecks, so I'm going to do it like this. Because I only have room for 5 symbols. But the other characters I will give the name they officially have. The girl of this party. The follow-up of Anna, you might say. But Anna 2.0 is actually called Paula. The second girl that's going to stop aliens. Okay, the nerd of the gang. The Lloyd of the second game. And this guy is actually not called Lloyd. Surprise, surprise. He is called Jeff. And our fourth little friend, not comparable with Teddy. This guy is completely different, but more about him later. But he is actually called Pooh, with double O. We also have a pet. A dog, to be precise. For him, I'm actually going to use the don't care option. As you can see, for all of the name givings in this game, we have a don't care option. If you actually select this, the game will actually come up with a couple of pre-programmed names, which you can use. And I'm definitely not going to use Peach. No, no. None of these names are actually really good, in all honesty. Let's just go with King. You won't be seeing the dog in this game a whole lot anyway, so... Favorite homemade food. Let's go see what don't care actually can input for us here. Oh, pasta. Let's go see what more we have. Okay, pasta is the best one in this, so... Let's go with that. Of all the things that are in here, that is indeed my favorite food. And my favorite thing. This does not matter a whole lot. The game won't be doing too much with this. But still, slime. Ooh, gaming. Of course, that is the thing I like most. You should have given that to me immediately, game. Okay, and that is our preparation work. And this is our party. Ness, Paula, Jeff and Pooh, even though Ness is called Treecks. And let's go start this story. Let's go see what we have. The basic principle of the story is going to be the same compared to the first game, but it'll play out a lot differently. We are in the year 1990X. To keep things vague. This is the town we live in. The town of Onett. A small town in Eagleland. And yes, I'm going to pronounce it as Onett. There's a lot of discussion how you need to pronounce that, I know. But I will call it Onett. And once we reach other towns, you will learn why I think it is supposed to be called Onett. But inside of Onett, this is our house. On the northern end of town. This is Ness's house. Okay, I need to be honest. Treecks just looks weird. And we are sleeping. It's nighttime after all. But it looks like we are going to get rudely awakened. Sounds like something just crashed. And pretty near here, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to hear it. I don't have to talk about controls quite yet. There's not a whole lot of things we can do, but we can move around, as you can see, with the D-pad. In fact, that is going to be required to even get to places, so of course we can move around with the D-pad. But other than that, we also have access to a menu already. We can press the A button in order to open up a menu. Like any RPG has, so this one too. Multiple options can be used here, which is very comparable to the first EarthBound game, so not a whole lot of new things when it comes to that. Nothing special quite yet. We have a little bit of a shortcut when it comes to the check button. We can actually press the L button to immediately go to check, so we don't have to open the menu for that, as you can see. Not that there's something to check in our room, but still. It shows off the function of the L button. A shortcut to our menu, you might say. We can press the B button in order to show off our important stats, our money, and our HP and PP. So even for that, we don't need the menu all the time. We can just press B to check out our HP and our money, you might say. And yeah, that's all. The start and Y button don't do anything in this game. The X button not quite yet. Ooh, the lights turn on in the hallway. It seems we're not the only one who's awake now. Let's go in this room. This is our sister's room. Let's go see what she has to say, because she's apparently also awake. Hey bro, did the sound wake you up? Were you freaked out? Yeah, I sure am. I'm walking around in my pajamas in a girl's bedroom. But anyway, you still want to go in here, because there's a present here. Treecks opened the present, and there's a cracked bed inside. Treecks takes it. Just like in the first EarthBound game, you can actually find weapons in this game. The first one being very bad, of course, but still the only one we have, and therefore worth equipping. There's 4 things you can equip in this game. A weapon, something on your body for protection, something on your arms, and other things that can also change up your stats. For now we have the cracked bed, so we can use that to increase our offense to 6. Normally it's only 2, but with the weapon it is now 6. Before we even had our first battle, we've already increased our offense. Awesome. Let's go downstairs now. Of course, there's more to our house than just 2 bedrooms. Let's go find our parents. Most of all, our mother. Hi, Mom. You're also awake because of the sound? What was that noise? Treecks, you don't seem scared. Are you nuts? And now you want to go check it out? Okay. You'll sneak out of your room anyway, even if I asked you not to. At least change out of your jammies before you go. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Walking around in our sister's bedroom in our jammies is fun, but we're not going to do that outside. Let's get into our standard Ness gear. The way we know him from the Smash games. Oh, and here's our pet dog, who's called King. Besides humans, dogs also sleep at night. Why aren't you asleep? Yeah, because something is happening outside. Let's check out the phone. Also returning from the first EarthBound game. However, we're not allowed to use it quite yet. Just remember it is here. And also remember it basically has the same function. So I don't really have to explain. Now, let's finally go explore. Let's go see where that noise came from. Ooh, there's a lot of police force here. So apparently it was important. Onett police are infamous for closing roads if something is going on. We are going for the world record. Yeah, that's a clear example of the humor this game actually goes for. Don't panic, it's just a... What? Meteorite that... Who? Fell. I just wanna... What? Go home. Okay, that's one way to actually hint of what is going on. I want to return home, but the road is closed. People are taking this meteorite situation too seriously. Yeah, meteorites crashing is something you should not be taking seriously. That happens every day, right? Did you hear the Big Bang? I think a meteorite landed nearby, and I want to be the first to see it, okay? I'm going to try to be the first to get there. Nope, we are going to be there first. Don't you know what time it is? Get your butt home, pronto! But I just came from there. I want to go see the meteorite. Man, there's a lot of cops here. A meteorite has landed. The sharks are running wild in town. You kids are wandering around and I'm hungry. I hate my job. Okay. It's dangerous to go to the hilltop. Even if I advise you not to go, it won't stop you, will it? Hey, Mom, is that you in that police uniform? Ooh, there's a present there. However, if I remember correctly, I don't want to pick that up quite yet. Hey you, don't you know what time it is? Yeah, it's 10:57. So it's definitely not nighttime while I'm recording this. Okay, here's the present actually, but I'll advise you not to pick it up quite yet. Because there's a way it can get stolen from you early on in the game, so allow me to leave it behind for now. Hey Treecks, hiya buddy. A meteorite fell down and went boom. It was a real mess for a while. I was fine because I always eat garlic and work out to help make my body stronger. Okay. However, the weaker citizens probably fainted. I also want to tell you... Whoops. Almost told you about my... By the way, Treecks, did you check out my billboard? I wrote the message myself. That's my real job, you know. I'm a billboard guy. Why don't you check out my work? A billboard guy? Okay. Treasure hunter. This is Liar X Aggregate's house. Okay, I think you have a different job than making billboards, looking at your name. That meteorite looks different than usual. It is strange and marvelous, as well as mysterious. Oh. Meteorites are supposed to be mysterious, I know. Hey, that kid is supposed to be our neighbor kid. What are you doing over here? Howdy, neighbor. Hey, come on, don't you walk around so much. Hey, Treecks. Don't be rubbernecking. You're getting in the cops. Oops. I mean, officer's way. You can go home now. Tomorrow, I, Pokey, will tell you more about the strange meteorite. I'm fine here, but you're bugging the officers. Hey, what gives you the right to actually check out the meteorite and not us? I think I know what kind of guy you are, Pokey. But anyway, as you can see, this is a dead end for now. We're not able to do anything. We're not allowed near the meteorite. We were able to see it a little bit on screen, but that was about everything. We are forced to return home. This is not our cup of tea. This is too much for a little boy to handle. Let's just go home and clear this game. After one episode, this game is already over. We are not good enough in order to do this adventure. We are done already. Welcome home, Treecks. It's not necessary to talk about tonight. It's late. It's good off to bed now. Yeah, we've had enough adventuring for this game. It's not like this game is going to be a 50-part project anyway. Later that night, of course, more is going to happen. Ooh, we're awake again. And I think I know why we are awake. There are more things that go bonk during the night, it looks like. Someone's knocking at the door. What an annoying knock. Yeah, indeed, it's a pretty interesting sound effect that we're able to actually get out of the SNES here. But that strange knocking is actually at the door, as you can see. Oh, it's you. Pokey. Hey, listen what I've got to say. When I took Picky to the place where the meteorite landed... Oh, good evening, ma'am. You're looking lovely, as usual. Anyway, I was saying... The police that were guarding the meteorite landing left suddenly to deal with the sharks. You know, the sharks, they're the local ruffians. And they were really going wild. Suddenly I noticed that Picky was gone. I blame the cops. It certainly wasn't my fault at all. When my dad gets back, I know I'm going to get it. You're my bestest friend. Won't you help me find Picky? Okay, I'm a good guy. Okay, good buddy. Let's blow this popsicle stand. Before we go, why don't you say goodbye to your mom? Don't you agree, ma'am? What do you mean goodbye? But okay. I know that the dog is unreliable, but you should take King along. The cracked bed in Tracy's room could also help you out at a time like this. No matter what anyone says, you're a courageous, strong boy. You're my very own natural-born fighter. You'll go far. Remember to go for it. But I think you should change out of your jammies before you leave. I'm not allowed to do anything in this game in my jammies. I don't agree on that. But as you can see, in case you have not gone into Tracy's room in order to get the cracked bed, our mom also gives a hint about that. I'll do anything I can to help you. Good luck on your adventure. You might get hungry along the way, so here's a cookie. And we get a cookie. You can also leave anything you don't need with me. Do you want me to hang on to something? Oh, this is also a feature that returns from the first EarthBound game. Our sister, once again, has the ability to store things. Because remember, this is an RPG, and therefore we have inventory management. My biggest foe in an RPG. But she's actually able to help out by storing a couple of things we cannot carry ourselves. Or simply don't need. Just remember, that is Tracy's role in this game. And that reminds me to actually take a look at our goods. As you can see, we have this screen telling us how many things we can carry around in this game. It's not a whole lot, as you can see. The moment it is full, we cannot pick up any new stuff anymore. So remember to return to Tracy if you want to leave something behind. Inventory management is your biggest foe in an RPG. Let's go talk to King so we can actually bring him along. I'm pretty sure it's required even, so... I guess I have no choice. Let's go. Poor guy. King joins you. Not an official party member, but still he can help us out in the battles a little bit. Alright, you go out in front and I'll follow you at a safe distance. Let's get going. No, you're that kind of guy, huh? Pokey joins you. All of a sudden we have a party of 3. Oh, what the hell? Oh, the phone is going. Treecks answered the phone. Hello, it's your dad. Work to exhaustion when you're young. Have you ever heard of a weird saying like this? Just remember, I'm always behind you 100%. Don't be afraid. I know that you are brave. You can do it. And don't forget to call me periodically during your adventure. I can make a record of your progress when you call me. Oh yeah, I deposited $30 into your bank account. Do you have your ATM card? Withdraw your money from any cash machine and buy whatever you need. Good luck, my boy. I feel like such a hero. What? Well, the father of a hero at least. Slam, beep. Yeah, just like in the first game, our father is in the form of a telephone. We never see him, but he does call us sometimes. And we can call him, of course. Let's move out into the world. We're looking for Picky, who's actually Pokey's little brother. I'm pretty sure he did not tell it, so allow me to tell you. And in the meantime, we can also start battling for the first time. Spiteful crows will start appearing in the overworld from this point on. But it does give us the opportunity to explain how the battle system works. It's pretty much the same as in the first game. There are some slight differences, but mostly it is the same. Bashing is our standard attack, the option you'll be using the most, obviously. PSI also returns. Psychic powers. All of these kids have psychic powers. But of course, since we're level 1, we have not learned a single one yet, so it's something we cannot use yet. The PP is actually used in order to use these attacks. Goods, also an option. We can use items in battle. Right now we don't have anything we can use in battle, but if you do, you can use that option. Defense, you can actually use to skip a turn, increasing your defense, so enemies do a little bit less damage. Sometimes a good strategic option. Auto also returns. A very good friend of mine during the first game, as you may know. But you can also let the computer do the battling for you. Sometimes also fun. And runaway is an option. In case you don't want to fight, you can try this option to actually leave the battle. Just remember, it does not always work. And if it doesn't, you'll actually waste your turn. So be careful. Let's bash up this first easy enemy to learn the turn-based fighting in this game. Okay, he gets to go first. Does 9 HP of damage. Yeah, as you can see, our dog and Pokey can also get turns, but they usually don't do a whole lot. Work has to come from us. Ooh, smash! Critical hit. And we win. We get experience points, obviously. And these crows have a tendency to drop cookies, which we can use to heal ourselves. Which could be necessary, because that one attack by this crow already did 9 HP of damage, so... Remember to actually stock up on healing items as well. So, with this first battle out of the way, and our adventuring opening up for us, the mysterious meteorite falling, and Pokey's little brother disappearing after the cops left, is already screaming for adventure. And this little boy, called Ness, has his work cut out for him. Thank you for watching the introduction of this, softly put, interesting JRPG, EarthBound. We'll be continuing with it next time. See you folks then, and Treecks out!